Hey man, what's going on? What's going on? Go on, slap them headphones off, brother. Go on, slap them out. We got the one and the only. You heard me? You know what I mean? Let me make sure you're right. Let me give me a mic check. Give me a mic check.
Yo, check 1 2.
We in the building. They still clapping for him, man. They still clapping for him, man. They must know something. Hey man, Price is in the building, man. What's up with it, brother?
Yo, what's good, man? It's your boy Price the Poet, aka Jesus Price, and we live here in direct 88.3 with LS Jim.
Straight
my
up.
guy Brandon Laster. How you doing, man? Peace and love.
Hey man, peace to you. You know what I'm saying? You got some dopeness going down, man. So obviously, we haven't had a chance to just sit down and chop it up. So we gotta do it. Gotta do it how we do it. We got this Sexy Selph right here.
Sexy.
Man. This is how you started it off, bro.
That's how I popped it off, man. Intro.
I want y'all to, tell me what y'all think about this real quick.
She's so staring hard at me. Told her we could leave and I could play some R&B. With your sexy self. Your sexy say she's so staring hard at me. Told her we could leave and I could play some R&B. With your sexy self. With your sexy say baby. Sexy mama. Come and sex me like I know you wanna. Girl, I want you there,
So check it out. You listen to the LSJ Radio Show. This is how he decided to start it off. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
What was you? Okay. It's so much that we gotta hit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he channeled his inner Prince. You know what I'm saying? When he hit that, it was a great way to pop it off. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, we'll be talking. Hold up. Don't give him too much. Not just yet. They ain't ready for that. They ain't ready for the Holy Ghost.
Creeping up on them, right?
You know. Man,
yeah.
so tell me, okay. Before we get to how you kicked it off, obviously, this is the first R&B project, right?
First ever R&B anything.
Bruh. So, obviously, if you've been keeping up with him, which you should have been. If you're not, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you give him a follow. Check up what he got popping. He's always been, you've been doing a razzle dazzle here and there, right? But a full R&B status, like, you know what I'm saying? Talk about what put you in the mindset to say, I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Man, so I've always... everybody sing. Everybody been singing. Everybody start off singing before they start off rapping. Everybody learn their first melody before they learn their first rap.
More than likely, was you like in like a little church, something like that?
I grew up in church.
You know what I'm saying?
Junior deacon, junior usher, choir. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, singing normally you gonna get thrown into the children's choir. We normally always get thrown into the children's choir.
Right.
So you know what I mean? So yeah, you learn your melody and then obviously go ahead.
My big bro is a lot of my inspiration for putting me onto the music that I've been exposed to and that I've allowed to serve as inspiration. So Music Soul Childs, the Tanks, you know what I'm saying? Especially Music Soul Child, though. I know all every album up to date from.
Yeah, that's a master. That's the master at work right there.
Yeah, and so I've always, you know what I'm saying, wanted to have at it. But you know what I'm saying, singing. I'm not a singer.
You're not a singer.
I just sing.
Okay, I'm with that.
I'm a poet, a rapper that sing, man. That's all.
Cool. So, did you have any type of nerves as you were putting it together, or was it just?
Man, what? First thing that came to mind was live performances.
That's why I'm like, okay, so when you gonna hit the live and like, are you getting in shape for that? Because singing is a different situation.
Exactly.
You feel me? So like, all right, so yeah, with the lives and everything. So, did your studio game have to change?
Not necessarily, man. I got some other live performance equipment together.
Okay.
Before I'm able to, you know what I'm saying, fulfill that whole ambience from that album to a live setting. For sure.
Because you got like the auto-tune that you are very dopeness with. Like how long? Okay. Like we're gonna be jumping from a lot of stuff because he got a lot of skills under his belt. You know what I mean? So like, speaking on that, because autotune is almost like a trademark for you in some ways. Like you're good at you good with it, as far as not even just with yourself, like when you record others.
That's OG, yeah, true.
So yeah, talk about like, you know, your influence of tapping into the autotune and how it's worked for you.
Yeah, man. So I've always been a big fan of the pitch correction tool ever since Zapp Rogers and them. T-Pain pioneered it, you know what I'm saying?
for sure.
T-Pain did it out of a box, you know what I'm saying? So that was pretty cool. And I you know what I'm saying, I learned some ways from him, and you know what I'm saying, applied my own thing to it. So the track that you was just about to play, Holy Ghost,
yeah.
that's the first ever R&B track that I created since I had got my equipment.
And how long ago did you start on that?
That was 2 years ago.
Ooh. So you already knew like that's what you was doing.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, like I said, you got a lot of hats, right? So like one thing I wanted to just ask you is like, how do you battle the fact that you putting out projects, right, left and right? You got the arc that you've been putting some stuff out with.
Yeah.
And then you still working on this new sound that not a lot of people are, you know, as far as aware of that you got coming. So like, how you balancing that? And you produce heavy. You know what I'm saying?
I produced 95% of that album.
Oh, snaps. Okay, that's a lot.
So I you know what I'm saying, it's definitely a lot to juggle. I definitely have to make time to rehearse and prepare for things.
Yeah.
Especially per show, I got to give it precise thought, you know what I'm saying, evaluation as to what crowd I'm going to appease to, what the vibe is, and exactly how I'm going to bring that the vibe from the studio of recording that same track to a live setting.
For sure.
So the whole singing ordeal, I want to make that, you know what I'm saying, a very grand experience. I can survive without the pitch correction.
Yeah.
But for in-house recording sessions, all the singing stuff was very impulsive. It wasn't written down. It was like
that's what's up.
I was under an influence, and I was like, you know what I'm saying, this is how I feel. So I had a little pitch correction tool to help correct the things from, you know what I'm saying, the lack of sobriety.
I mean, yeah, and honestly, it's still a good, because you know you got different sounds. You got the studio sound, then you got the live sound. So it's nothing. It's definitely a good look if that's what you're gonna move on. And like, is this something that we can expect in the future? Is this just is this one of those I just had to make sure that y'all knew I could do that, or is this like, you know, we could potentially be seeing something in the future, like in 2020, 2021, and potentially, you know, what do you say? What do you say?
Definitely, all the tracks that were initially going on the album were not released on the album, so I got some stuff that
got some stuff in the vault.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
And it's okay. And then obviously, being that, like I said, I think you may have answered it, but just to ask again, is your production game, do you have to come at that different, being that you are now more singing?
So a weird thing with me, man, I really don't know which way I'm gonna go with a beat, because I make it. That's the way I kind of went with it. Okay. And that's all I know. So it isn't until somebody else comes into the studio and I'd be like, hey, I just made a beat, what you think? And they be like, they start either rapping or singing. I'm like, okay, well, you just gave
That's
it.
what it is. That's the vibe. That's the vibe.
Yeah, right.
That's the vibe. So we're finna take a listen to another joint that he got. Matter of fact, y'all was just finna go under the influence, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and let it play, you know what I'm saying? Play on out and everything like that. You listen to LSGen Radio. We chilling with Price, man. We'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
He said he the what?
Right there on time, man.
You know what I mean? You know, I worked it out like that. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get a little bit better on these boards. You feel me?
You got it. You got it.
Make it a movie. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna make a video and it's gonna be a movie when I put it out. You know what I mean?
Progression in your direction.
You know what I mean? We're trying to make it happen. So we out here, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we out here hanging out, chopping it up, fooling with the homie, you know what I'm saying? And in case you didn't know, you know what I'm saying, Sexy Selph is out, and that means that we out here chilling with the homie. Price is in the block.
Oh, thank you so much.
One more time.
You guys are too kind.
You know. Hey man, so with that said, check this out. You had, as far as from what I saw, you said Sexy Selph and its general, and its because we're gonna talk about kind of your process in making Holy Ghost, but you know it's actually it's a theme behind it. It ain't just, you know, just sex music, if you will. Somebody with it. So talk about what Sexy Selph means.
Oh man, so Sexy Selph, man, is a series of my self saga. A little I guess you can say a spiritual or should I say metaphysical journey of the realization of self. Take you through different types of journeys in order to reach that, you know what I'm saying, realization. A little psychedelic experience on each journey.
For sure.
So you had, you know what I'm saying, self-explanatory. You got selfish, selfless, and now you have Sexy Selph. So Sexy Selph is, of course, that the R&B sexual raunchy side of things to
For sure.
To denounce sexual judgment and shame that religion and other you know what I'm saying, customs have resorted people to believe it's, you know what I'm saying, taboo and whatnot.
So it's kind of like almost like a liberation project, if you will.
Basically, yeah.
Kind of put people to be a little comfortable with their sexuality and, you know, being able to express it and things of that nature. So
exactly, expressing it all while having that album playing in the background. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. And you still dropping some pretty dopeness. So it's like, okay, clearly one thing, you know, with the pen game, which we're gonna speak on that in a minute. You done transition to, you know, well, at least with this, you're showcasing more,
right? Yeah,
of the songwriting aspect. So for you, is the songwriting, does that still come to you like that, or is it still more like you said under the influence situation? Because I know when you write your bars, you kind of put some thought to it, if you will. So yeah, what did you say?
Man, it's a lot of things have to be summoned, and I have to be in the right state of mind to summon that articulation of words.
Sure.
Because it's a message of feeling I'm trying to convey. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I cannot wait to get back to rapping, releasing some hard bars, man.
Yeah.
The singing is cool, you know what I'm saying. I enjoy it. It's a feel good thing, but the rapping is it's a lot more intense.
For sure.
It's a lot more, and I'm all for that intensity and the passion. You know what I'm saying?
You're a lyricist, definitely. So it's like, you know, I know it be on you and everything. Like, so what has been, you know, from your experience, you know, you put it out not long ago. So
Man.
like, what's been the feedback?
Man, this is so far, besides my debut project or mixtape, this has probably gotten the most attention.
Okay.
And streams.
Okay. All right, I can fool with that. And I mean, it's definitely a different vibe. Do you feel like people was ready for it?
They weren't ready for it, because a lot of remarks were like, this dude doing R&B. I don't know. I don't know about all
R&B,
that, man.
You know
so
what I'm saying?
After they pressed play, they was like, "Oh wow,
yeah,
impressed.
yeah,
You really wowed us. We didn't think you could do it, but you did it." Type.
Yeah, for sure. And then okay, so speak on Holy Ghost. Like, all right, what's the message on Holy Ghost, man?
Holy Ghost, man. So that's the whole embarking of the sexual judgment denouncement theme there, since it was the first track of the whole project that I recorded and was working on.
Yeah.
I was definitely I was on a trip. I was on a lysergic acid diethylamide trip, and I
you was there. You was with that.
I was there for a few tracks on the project, but that one being the one that popped it off, it was like that, recording under it. Holy Ghost was basically like, you know what I'm saying, the amount of passion that I get from the literary end of my music, kind of being infused with the amount of passion for the sweet sounds that I can create on the production side of things.
Okay.
So they kind of just came and merged into one big blast of, you know what I'm saying,
I'm with it.
Orgasmic energy.
I feel it. I'm with it. So like, okay, so when you were in that state, right? And you recording, like how much of a how in the moment are you? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like
my phone on the floor face down somewhere else. I don't know
okay, so you know what time we in now. Like nobody, like people have their phone and just check it knowing nothing is going down. So I feel you on that. So okay, and obviously what you saying, this being the aspect, what would you say like up until this point, you know, focusing on artistry? One thing that we talk about all the time is like entrepreneurship here, right?
Oh yeah.
And you know, obviously being a full-time artist is a business, right? So like, you know, from where you started to like now, understanding like the transitions you've had to make, you know, what were some of the ups and the downs you would feel like, you know, as an artist and as an entrepreneur you had to go through?
Oh man, the whole production thing, man. When I purchased my iMac and production software from my guy Darius, that's when my whole career changed, had a shift in paradigm. You know what I'm saying? And I knew it.
For sure.
I never saw myself. I mean, I used to produce on GarageBand back in high school. You know what I'm saying? Nothing really too big, but at that moment, I had currently had my previous recording software like damaged and stolen from me.
Oh man.
So I was only doing audio engineering. I was getting beats off YouTube or whoever would send me beats at that point.
Right.
And when it got stolen, I was like, damn, now I'm forced to upgrade.
Right.
And I upgraded to my own production and engineering software. So I was like, well, this was the upgrade. This was the level up I've been needing and requesting and putting out into the universe. And now it's right here in my lap. So
Factory.
I hit the ground running.
And so, like, okay, with that said, obviously, you know, your productions, you done really stepped it up, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, like even from anything that really, at least on my end, I've heard the production was on it's something that you like, okay, I'm seeing where he's going with it.
Uh-huh.
But now, like you said, spending the time to develop your production, like it seems like not only are you producing, but you got like this intensity, like nah, let me produce, let me cut that. Like like he had even had a moment like we put out the flyer, right? He was like, let me touch that, because I kind of threw something together, no lie, you know what I'm saying? I threw something together because I'm doing. He's like, let me touch it. I'm like, all right, I'm an eye price. So yeah, so when it comes to the production, it seemed like, you know, it's transitioned from I could do it to like it's a big passion behind it, right?
Oh man, yeah, man. I can spend a lot of time doing that. Actually, I'm performing a song tonight at Homegrown. Shout out to Dada and everybody.
Yeah, they definitely rocking that tonight. Yeah, for sure.
I'm performing an unreleased track called Grizzly, which was on the Arcs. You got a little snippet of it.
Okay.
One of those that track in particular, man. I was driving trucks at the time, and I had just got off the road of not being able to make beats or do any music for like a couple months straight, and it was like I had a little teary moment pulling up to the crib for that one moment of being back home for a few days, and I got on my computer, man, and I cooked up that beat, cooked up the hook Grizzly, because that was how I was feeling. I had yelled so much on the road home, just so much built up passion wasn't expressed. Yeah. And I yelled till my voice was hoarse, so that's why I kind of sound so extra crispy on the Grizzly hook.
You gotta hear Grizzly, like that's definitely a moment. So now what you're saying is it's actually a whole track to that time.
Nah, not yet. It's just the last minute performance kind of. I'm just putting together a couple of old verses. You know what I'm saying? Being in the spirit of the moment to just fulfill that idea.
Okay. I mean, who knows what's gonna happen? Like, right. I feel you like going, you know, what you saying, like in the moment. So this is what I'm gonna talk about. So a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, that a lot of people have heard, you know, Price the Poet, you know, with the people that we fooling with, they may have heard of Price the Poet, you know what I'm saying? But maybe you ain't heard of some of the stuff that he has done in the past. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he got a quite a dope. So I'm gonna play a little bit of this right here, and I want you to tell me what you feel about it. We're gonna be right back in. Hold on. Let's see what we can do.
What do you got, man?
I don't know.
I got a phone piece of mind. See, this is what that voice in your head says when you try to get peace of mind. I got a phone piece of mind. I got a phone piece of mind.
Find a peace of mind. I'm just trying to find a peace of mind. I'm just trying to find a peace of mind. I'm just trying to find a peace of mind. Find a peace of mind. You don't mind if I try to find a peace of mind. If you do, then I'm back in line. Find a peace of mind. If they don't mind if I try to find a peace of mind.
This is a little bit of Price, man. Let me listen to what he got to say. You know what I'm saying? Listen to what he got to say. We'll be right back in.
It's Price, y'all. I'm stressing, I'm worried about my future. Can get a manual on life, but we got Kama Sutra. Embrace the fear or two just in the last year or two, just to get on through some dilemmas, cause I ain't have an option. Good situations are for those who've long waited with desire, just like the buyer who just waits at an auction. Yeah, the Bible is vital, but only for the believers. So who do the lost and will we go to when they need a leader? Find a peace of mind.
Hey man, check this out. I gotta cut that off. I gotta cut that off right there, man. Dude, so all right. So one thing that I do every now and again, you know what I'm saying? I check it out, and I'm like, okay, what can I find that really,
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That really articulates some of the stuff that, you know, obviously, you know, we legit love Supreme from Generational Wealth, so we try to make sure that we push something that's gonna help push folks forward and everything.
Right.
And obviously, with you being a poet, you know, obviously intellectually, you always are, you know, you pushing the totem pole. Let's see what he got to do.
I'm doing fine. How about you say? About to say. I'm doing fine. How about you say? About to say. I'm doing fine. How about you say? About to say. I'm doing fine. How about you say? But my self-esteem is taller than me. I can accept that. I'm riding on my high horse. Sugar, won't you come and ride this pony? Right. See, I don't mean to get sexual, given that I'm quite the intellectual. See, my self-esteem be masturbating, so I'm feeling myself. My pride may be the death of me, I'm killing myself. Suicide, call it a prideful suicide. I look up in the mirror and I just see you and I say, hey, sexy, how you doing today? And I reply pretty good even on another day.
How y'all feeling out here?
About to say, how you doing? I'm doing fine. How about you? I'm doing fine. About to say, how you doing? I'm doing fine. How about you? I'm doing about to say, how you doing? I'm doing fine. How about you? I'm doing fine. About to say, how you doing? I'm doing fine. How about you? I'm doing.
That's the money one. You know what I'm saying? Okay, talk about this song, bro, because I know instantly when that one hit, like you felt that one. Now that drink, all I'm gonna say is I want to hear something like that in the future. You feel me? I don't know if that's pressure or not.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? But that one there, that's some. Anybody can play that. You know what I mean?
That's OG. That's real.
Because, you know, somebody with Sexy Selph, everybody go, it's going to take time for people to get to that place.
Because it's so raunchy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That one right there, bro. Everybody at the family reunion going to be playing that one. So talk about that. Talk about where you were at, like you said, in that particular place. And, like, just the song in general.
Well, I had just got my first vehicle.
Word.
I was in the F-150 pickup truck in Malvern.
Oh,
I
you
just
was
moved to
doing it
Malvern.
righteous. Okay, so
And,
yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
On that. I'm with you on that.
I had I was doing pretty good at the little day job, man. They had my picture on the wall on the front of the building
Oh, you was really doing it.
for advertisement and whatnot. They was playing my little song "New Phone Who This" on the building's radio.
Oh, but at that point, you wasn't at the game where you were at now. You know, they got the free promo.
Yeah,
right now
yeah,
you can't do that.
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Way back when, man. What
Which
was
is
it,
actually,
2016?
well, it may be 2016, but this is actually where we crossed paths. 2015, Sykes.
Oh,
That's where we crossed paths. Let me tell you. All right, so let me tell you how we crossed paths. All right, just that week or the week before, I had met Docs, which is amazing. I had met Docs at a kickback. So this homie was like, "Hey, bro, they spit knowledge. You need to go over there and talk to them." You know, how people be like, like you finna go over there and whoop somebody because you got some type of knowledge. So I'm like, okay, let me see what they talking about. So people was just chilling, smoking, and I'm like, oh, this is what y'all call that? Okay, I thought there was gonna be some different stuff going on. Maybe I came extra prepared. So you know, I'm thinking about you know intellectuals going in and everything like that. But it was still cool. But I had said I had told people, hey, I'm doing this book reading joint, and it was two people that came to me, a young lady and then Docs. He was like, you know, I'm with that, and I was like, all right. He was like, man, I'll be making music, I was like, all right, how serious?
Yeah.
And then that's my story, how I put him on D.
Wow.
So then the next week, I'm sitting here because I'm at the day job too. I'm at Sykes, which I hated that spot. Rest in peace. No rest in peace. Bump them boys. But yeah. But I was up there, you know what I'm saying, and I had already noticed you. I knew that you was like, I seen that you was a very outspoken person, but then you was like, what's up, bro? You know, I was like, what's up with it, man? And you were talking to this lady, and you were talking to her about your networking skills. Like, ain't nobody gonna know what I do until I speak to him. So, and then you came to me and was like, what's up, bro? wrong price. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
I'm like, this dude is
That's
like
crazy.
he was made for us. So I was like, what's up with it, man? Da, 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 da. He was like, yeah, I be spitting, da, 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 da. And I'm like, oh, already, that's what's up. So I'm like, you know, how serious are you about producing? That's what I tell everybody. And I could see, because when I talk to people, I could tell when they passionate. But you know, the discipline factor is a situation. So from there, I was like, all right. But one thing, now we finna get into the conversation that you said. You were talking to her and you were like, I don't necessarily well, that's like I said, that's how we linked. And then I was like, man, I'm finna check them out. And that's when I got on your first joint, your first album, which when I learned about all your poetry skills and you were performing at Henderson State, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that was like, all right, dude got the juice. And then but you was talking to the young lady and you were like, you know, I don't necessarily believe in right and wrongs. I just believe in perspectives. And I was like, he taking it somewhere. And I was like, I don't know this dude. You feel me? I was like, this is the type of stuff I felt like in some ways I was gonna hear. So I'm just peeping in, and he was like, and then Price being outspoken, but be what you feel like, bro. We don't even know each other. You tagging me in, so he just got that type of vibe. But anyway, I did want to ask you. You know what I'm saying? Are you still in that vault? Do you still feel like it's no right and wrongs? And then if so, kind of expound on that, just for people who may not get what you're saying.
Yeah, man. I still say I got some philosophies of mine that are very tied into the whole self saga thing, and which will be concluded in a book. Y'all will find out about that later.
That's dopeness.
So self, the theory of self is constructed upon several different foundations. One of which is no rights, no wrongs, only differences and things we agree on. So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, no matter how wholeheartedly somebody believe one thing, even and given the fact that belief is manifestation, no matter how much somebody believe in it, you know what I'm saying, it don't make it wrong for somebody else to believe something else. It's just the bottom of the line. It's just different.
Yes, for sure.
That's the ultimate truth. So to speak.
And I feel like that's honestly like I feel like you speaking towards a reality, which is like, you know, regardless of how steadfast I am over here, it may be different over there, and you got to be able to respect that. So my question to you, when you go to that, because you know it can get real, it can get real antsy. So like when you come to moralistic values, you feel what I'm saying, like when it comes to extreme stuff, so, you know, I'm not saying that you're an advocate for anything, but you got things like rape and molestation. We talked about that last week, right?
I'm always ready.
You know what I'm saying? So for you, when it comes to those particular things, like how do you balance that with with your perspective?
So I know that morality plays a good deal with the whole right and wrong.
Or would you feel like morality is not what you're touching when you're speaking on?
I don't believe in morality.
Okay, I'm with it. Okay.
I believe in love.
Okay.
Period. Period. You know what I'm saying?
I'm seeing where you're coming from.
So if someone ain't acting out of love, then that's just, you know what I'm saying, the lack thereof, and I wish some love on them. So in the scenario of, I guess, rape, for whatever reason, if we're going with right and wrong, if we're gonna use right and wrong in the terms here,
for sure.
It's the guy. He feels right because he's getting some kind of satisfaction out of it. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
He's doing it for his pleasure.
As far as what he's going through within himself.
Whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So in his realm of things, it has to be some kind of good for him to prompt to do it. Or some term, not kind, some terms of good. You know what I'm saying?
Something that allows him to move on that level. I feel
so that. Whether you deem it right or wrong, at the end of the day,
the bottom line is
love. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a case of the guy acting out of the lack thereof.
I can agree.
And I'm saying the lack thereof to not say evil. Because if I say evil, that would put belief into evil. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So I say the lack thereof of love.
So you basically, in a lot of situations, you like to try to call things for literally and just describe the actions of the things that's happening, and then allow that to be what it is, because as you know, as a society, we'll be able to paint a picture and say this person is this.
Yeah,
this person
we
is
love
that.
labels.
You know
We
what I'm
love
saying?
labels, man.
And yeah, for sure. And I believe, honestly, you know, at least from my perspective, initially, if I ain't gonna say as a society at all, we had not been at a place where we were better than that. But as the way to grow, you know, like when you're teaching a child, you got to teach them A before you can understand, like, okay, that's just a sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, or, you know, as you move forward. So, I mean, I feel with that, we got Price in the building, man. We're gonna be right back in. We're gonna listen to a little bit more of some of the music. We're gonna get back into more dialogue with him. We're gonna be right back in.
What's up, everyone? This is
What's
Sin.
good? All love to the people. Three-dimensional
Feeling
here,
straight.
telling you to check out.
Be sure to listen to LS Gen every Saturday.
We're gonna let y'all chew on the production. We're gonna just put it down in the background so y'all can still digest that. You know what I'm saying? So you had, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we got Price in the building and everything like that. Hypnotize You obviously is a remix from Self.
Self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory. My bad. Trying to get back in the game. Yeah. So so talk about why did you feel you had to do a remix? Like what led you to do that?
Man, to be honest with you, I was really finna do a whole remix to the Self-explanatory because the production and engineering wasn't there.
Self-explanatory is so deep though. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you had 3 retrograde skits, right? And you just gotta hear it. You gotta hear it. And I'm not gonna play everything that he did because that's your job. You gotta go follow Price the Poor. You gotta go do the research like I did, and you gotta go figure out about this brother. That's what y'all do with that's what you do with the people you fool with. So you know what I'm saying? Fool with them a long way. But yeah, so I feel you. So you was just like, all right, I got these production superpowers. Let me go ahead and
Exercise.
let me at least touch one of them. So yeah,
One of 'em.
yeah, this is dopeness and everything like that. And so Hypnotize You, like
Because I guess Hypnotize You was about to be, before Self-explanatory was released, Hypnotize You wasn't gonna go on there. I was gonna put it straight to the solo R&B thing, but I was like, I need a track for the ladies for the Self-explanatory, so I threw it on there.
Yeah.
Did some rapping, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just remix it later on, because it captured a nice moment in time in my life, from the production of it to the moment of recording. I got Miss Janae Randall on the remix there.
Big ups, big ups.
Very new artist. She hasn't gotten her paperwork done yet. That's why her information ain't on the song title or whatever. But you know what I'm saying, gave her like her third studio session ever. You know what I'm saying,
That's
for her
what's
to you know what I'm saying, feel some vibes or whatever. Got her out of her comfort zone to do the track, because of course it's very raunchy, and what she probably does on the regular is more, you know, I guess non-secular. And
got you.
To the supreme family and building generational wealth.
So you had a little bit of that in there, right?
oh yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Talk about that, because y'all got seem like y'all got some good chemistry. You know what I'm saying? As far as how y'all work together on tracks and stuff like that. So
Key?
yeah.
Oh yeah, man. She was actually originally on the Hypnotize You remix, but the group would tell you, man, I kick somebody off a song real quick if they not, you know what I'm saying, fulfilling my idea.
Right.
And she's still on there at the end of it. She got some background vocals on there.
Right.
So yeah, her shout out to Key Shanti, man.
Yeah, for
Duality coming out 12/21. So let me put up that.
She just put that down, at least from what I saw. I just saw it yesterday.
Oh, yeah,
if I'm
yes,
not mistaken.
sir.
So yeah, she had been speaking on that project. So see if I can holler at her. But yeah, going back towards, you know, Hypnotize You and everything of that nature.
Oh, yeah.
It's a move, it's a vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was it's basically you know what I'm saying, let me serenade you, young lady, you know what I'm saying, with the whole psychedelic side of Sexy Selph.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying, introducing them to their first road trip, so to speak.
Right.
And,
And so, like, with that experience, you know, are you a person that likes to record, or I don't know if you have a preference, but if you had a preference, you know what I'm saying, would you like to record with a group of people, or do you like to just go ahead and be on your own and just knock it out?
I like to record my R&B by myself.
Okay. I'm with that. And why is that? Just because you got to be a little more, you know, in tune?
Not so much in tune, but like I said, I'm not a singer. I'm just a poet and rapper that sing, and I still got a lot of stuff to learn.
I got
before I'm just out here. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So
you can't get the Casey and the JoJo just yet. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Don't get me wrong. It's I can. It's just a matter of like I said, everything is just off impulsive. I don't sit and write it down with the melodies and stuff. With the raps.
Where do you feel like your vocal stamina is right now? Because clearly, like, if you don't got the background, that's something that you got to build up. The lungs,
Right.
then make sure your chords don't go out, and being able to, when they go out, like you push through on Grizzly, which you got to check out Grizzly. Matter of fact, I'm gonna drop that in there. But you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So where do you feel like your vocal stamina is at this current moment? You know, what you put in the work that you had put in.
I'm a smoker, man. So I really gotta get my breathing properly, because your voice is an instrument.
Facts.
And we exercise more of that instrument singing melodies than we do rapping songs. So because with melodies you got different textures that you use with your voice to get different pitches and tones, and with rapping it's pretty much just like what I'm doing now, almost like some spoken word, like one and done type thing.
For sure.
I mean, you may have some dynamics going up and down like that, but with the singing, boy.
I was talking to my little brother, bro, because they just performed at Indie Music Night.
Okay.
And they had a pretty good performance, and he was talking. One one does the rapping and one does the singing. And
Okay.
so he was telling he was like, man, why didn't he sing a little bit louder or da 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 da? And I was like, it's a little bit different than rapping, brother. You know what I'm saying? You can't just you can't just push it all out. You gotta like, if you push a little too hard, you gonna be as sharp, or you gonna be, you could be potentially flat. And clearly self-consciously you ain't trying to embarrass yourself.
Right.
And then the stamina I was talking to you on, like, you gotta, when you push that through, you still gotta like breathe, like, you know what I mean? Which I know that's why you like, all right, I gotta get prepped, because like the energy, you didn't do no slow R&B, you did stuff that really moved, like some of them, you know what I'm saying, they vibe, but a lot of it is like, it's a moving situation.
Right.
And if you ain't seen the promo or any of the videos we drop, he kind of gets extra on another level when he performing. So it ain't like you just gonna be sitting down on some J. Cole on a stool. You might have a moment like that.
Right.
You like to move around. Talk about performing, like,
man. Shout out to my guy Low, bro. He gave me a few pointers when I was making my transitioning from the spoken word scene to the hip hop rapping side of things. He was like, move around.
For sure.
Get on that stage and move around. Don't
around.
Don't just stand. As soon as he told me that, I was like, you know what I'm saying? Because I look, when I'm doing music in any aspect, recording, performing, writing, whatever, I come from a consumer standpoint initially, because that's where I began, and that's how your ear develops.
Facts.
And then I take it to an artist's perspective, like, what's my preference? What's my signature? So in combination with those, man, I was like, okay, let me move around. Let me find points in my verse to move around, to breathe and stop.
Right.
Still a learning experience. Don't get me wrong. Still learning.
For sure.
But yeah.
I'm with that. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a little bit of a break. You know what I'm saying? I know you're a lyricist, so I need you to listen to this lyricist, because this man, he go pretty hard. His name by Jordan L. And I'm sure my people that already know, they gonna go in and everything like that. But check this out. We're gonna come back with some more Sexy Selph. But I gotta give some love to my homie from Detroit. He in Cali right now. You know what I'm saying? This is the homie Jordan L. We're gonna be right back. And you listen to the LSGN Radio Show. We sit with Price.
Jordan L. Look.
So you know what I'm saying? With us to the LSGN Radio Show. You know what I'm saying? We actually, we're giving it up to the homie Price. He actually up here chilling and hanging out here with us. I think they feeling them. And everything like that. So you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We just out here figuring it out. We figuring it out. So he was talking about the time as far as you experiencing and recording this particular track. Talk about it.
Oh man. So it was one sexy night.
One sexy night. So now, like, you already got a book coming out, but now you got to come out with like a book like that, like where you just I'm actually okay. So I done told Chris already, but in due time, I know you said we got stuff to talk about, but in due time we're gonna be doing a lot of production when it comes to filming and things of that nature. So that's in the future, right?
Okay.
Little short episodes and stuff like that, because with the Black Love and Black Family, one of the things I want to do, or one thing that we're in the process of doing, is making sure that a lot of people complain like people ain't doing this, people ain't doing that. Well, we want to create programming for our folks that's made by us.
True.
So just different little 20-minute, 30-minute episodes, put them up like that, and I think that'd be a dope way to start a show. One sexy night. You know what I mean? That's gonna be the Christmas special. You know,
I'm down with that, dog. I like that.
Let's see what we got popping. Let's see if somebody trying to holler at Price, which I didn't give you the number 501-433-0088. Let's see what's up. Let me see. Let me get you tuned in. Hold up. Keep calling. I got to get you locked in. Let's see. Oh yeah, they ain't on it.
We lost them.
We lost you, you know what I'm saying? If you're fooling with Price the Poet, you know what I'm saying, call in. I forgot to tell folks because we was all up in it. 501-433-0088. If you got something to say to Price with what you're hearing and everything, definitely give us a call. Listen to the LSGN radio show. Yeah, so yes, the making of the song and, you know, what was the vibe and the purpose. Yeah, tell us about the whole situation. One sexy night.
So it was one sexy night, man. I was we had a couple friends over. My guy A Rose, who was featured on playing games, he was over. We had a couple lady friends over to the crib, man, and we was just vibing, you know what I'm saying. We decided to see, you know what I'm saying, if anybody wanted to take a trip. Well, I decided to see if anybody wanted to take a trip, and
for sure.
The couple ladies and my guy Sean were 3 other passengers that wanted to board the trip. So you know what I'm saying, we got our admission slips and we went on the trip.
Went that way.
And I started, you know what I'm saying, producing. I was getting in the zone. I was like, you know what I'm saying, I got to cook up a beat because I really like cooking beats when I get new energy, because I like to reflect off that energy and see what is that telling me,
where it taking you and everything.
That let everybody know that's in the room how I'm feeling toward them, or just how I'm feeling about the chemistry in the room, period.
Already.
So if it come out kind of,
so if a diss record come out, then you know.
Oh no, that's all premeditated. The diss track
Facts.
Premeditated.
Like, you don't accidentally diss somebody. But go ahead.
So yeah, we was in there vibing, man. The energy was real high and intense and sexy.
For sure.
And so I'm real big on bass line. So I laid down those little keys and I got to this bass line right here, man, and I was like, this is it, everybody. I turned around, I was like, this is it, y'all. So I was like, dun, 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 dun.
Hey.
So I got that bass line going and I sold it up, and Sean, you know what I'm saying, he be freestyling. His verse was freestyle, so he hit all his stuff off the dome one take.
Word.
And
okay, yeah.
So he got in there and you heard what he was doing in the background. That was him in the background.
Okay, I'm with it. Yeah.
He was like, let me hit it, Price. He always want to hop on the mic, you know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, go ahead.
Go ahead,
that.
It's you.
And then the little shorty in the background, she was repeating what he was saying. And so I was like, go and get on the mic, shawty. So she got on the mic and repeated what he was saying in the background. I just leveled it down. And then I was like, that ain't it, though.
It need more.
It need way more. They was out there, I just wanna, and I was like, that's cool, you know what I'm saying, but that is not it. There's something that needs to bring this up. So I was like,
And dude,
the note came to my head and I was like, because everybody had went outside for a smoke break or something.
Yeah. And
then I was like, I found it. I was like, and I just started humming. Everybody came back in. And talking. That's why there was talking, because they didn't know I was recording as they were walking in.
And that's a classic interest, bro. That's a classic, like, see, you knew what you, because that's like, oh snaps, like it's going down, like, yeah, that's dopeness. And so, okay, all right. Now, how often are you finding like how often do you have people that are like unknowingly participating in the making of a track and then they like get with it, you know what I'm saying? Because you know some people be having like apprehension because they don't know what's up.
Right.
Then you got people that's overzealous, like, yeah, put me on everything. So yeah. What's that experience like?
It doesn't have to happen too often, because I'm very particular about who I invite over and who I decide to get into that creation energy with. Because it's very sensitive in particular, and as you know what I'm saying, don't get me wrong, it's very therapeutic as well, so we could heal a lot of what I'm negating to be a part of. So it'll be a few, probably like every couple of months somebody will be like, hey, I want to hop on the mic, or every few months rather, because I'd be so booked up and busy with it.
Thanks.
So they'd be like, I'm gonna hop on the mic. And so matter of fact, one of my homies, Sean, one of his homies, Sterlo Smoke, came over there. He does it, but he's not too experienced with it. But he got on and he just hit the mic one time with a freestyle.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Man, that's trash." I'm like, you think so? So he sat down and I was like, just sit back and let me work some magic. So I did some chopping, looped up, created a hook for him out of the little freestyle that he did, chopped it up real good, looped it back. started the verse
Put the
off. So
magic
you know
on.
what I'm saying?
Put
So
the
it was
magic on.
it'd be cool. I blow their mind a couple times and whoop de whoop.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Now, briefly, we done kind of went through some of your. We went back a little bit. We showed some stuff that you did, and obviously we talking about Sexy Selph because we excited that you dropped it. It's definitely a
Yes,
dope
sir.
vibe. So, speak on your foundation, or how you got in the game with the poetry scene. You know what I'm saying? Oh no. And I should have had this actually to play, which I might drop it. But you know what I'm saying? You actually started off as an artist. Correct. From at least
I started off as a visual artist.
visual artist. There we go. My bad. Let me put it on. All right. So start there and then go into your poetry and what got you started that way.
So Ray, man, Lil Ray.
Ray. What up, Ray?
Lil Ray.
32nd at Wolf, right?
Yes,
I
sir.
told you my people was 26 at Wolf, so that's crazy. We was literally down the street
That's
from each
crazy.
other. Yeah,
It was
yeah.
bound. So Lil Ray was growing up, man, under the wings of his older siblings, Mike, and Jun.
Already.
We was always artistic. He was always drawing. Jun was always drawing. Mike was always drawing. And so when Mike would ball up a piece of paper, he would throw it away, and I'm like, let me see it. So I go unball everything that he threw away and try to finish it.
That's the engineering. That legit. That's all I heard was engineer. Like, nah, that's not done. That's not done. Legitimately.
That's crazy. I ain't even think about it like that. That's crazy.
It. Go ahead, bro.
And,
that's like when you see people do stuff like that. If you don't got the creative mind, you like, this dude is crazy. I know your parents, like whoever was like, dude going in the track. Okay. All right. So you going and finishing the drawings.
I unball it. I finish it off, and then I had to create my own type of character, little cartoon characters. You know, I'm still a kid, and advancing. I'm still creating. I created like several little cartoon shows.
So you already ready for what we doing in the future? You already prepared for that? Cause like you know crack, right? You know that's my man. You know that's my man.
Shout out to my guy.
So all right. So the visual and all that. All right. Anyway.
So did all that, man, and it developed, and excuse me, my brothers and them, they didn't take it seriously. It was just some extracurricular for them. My oldest brother was into something else. My other brother was into sports and band. So I was the only one that was taking drawing seriously. So I kind of, you know what I'm saying, hit the ground running and started winning statewide competitions when I was like in 3rd, 4th grade.
Oh yeah, your pen game was strong.
Yeah, so I won a little contest, and then I was raised by my great granny, so she didn't really know how to put me in the network to develop my craft more.
Yeah, I'm
so
with that.
So once she passed, you know what I'm saying,
Rest in love.
Rest in love. So she passed 2011. I was drawing my last few cartoons, man. In 2010, 2011, I was drawing my last few characters, bro. I was running out of inspiration for it, and then came into I discovered Wale. I discovered Wale back in 2009. You know what I'm saying? I was getting to his music. I was like, dang, so he doing poetry before he started rapping. I was like, I like that. That's kind of cool.
That was definitely a different feel for a lot of people.
So I was like, let me see if I can do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, a bit.
That's definitely he being wrong with it there, because some people be like, I always had the juice. Like you didn't. We none of us started that way. You always got to mumble before you talk.
Right.
Hopefully you get past it. But hey, if that's your thing. But anyway, back to what you were saying.
I started that in like 20. I started the influence hit me in 2009. The influence started being reflected in my artistry probably like 2010. In 2010, same year, I entered my first poetry slam in high school, and then it just started going up from there. I was like, damn, I'm pretty good at this.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And everybody else was like, dang, he pretty good at this. And so that's when I had hit my first open mic. I was like, dang, I need a stage name, man. And my homie Wes, I was doing poetry with him because he was on Wale, so that's how we developed our relationship.
Yeah.
And he was rapping, but his rapping was more like poetry anyway. He was like, just go by your last name, man. Just go by Price. I was like, Price? I was like, okay. And the guys I was looking up to, like Osiris Bali, Ron Mack, Chris James, they had different stage names at the time, and it had ended with the poet, Scorpio the poet, this, that, the poet. So I was like, Price the poet.
And from there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So real quick, man, you know what I'm saying? You mentioned this, and I actually thought that was pretty dope. So, we're going to take a moment to honor, you know what I'm saying, your grandmother, because you did something pretty dope, man. Or y'all did something really dope. So, you know what I'm saying? We got to make sure that we honor that. Yeah, we're going to go back. And then we're going to talk about that whole tape. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause was this your first mixtape?
Yeah, it was.
This is what you talking about. All right, we'll be right back.
Time just to raise you. She ain't got to do that shit, she ain't paid to. She could have easily given you up at age 2, but she didn't despite whatever she went through. I really wouldn't be surprised if he resents you or your very existence.
We in the building. We got Price in the building. So you know what I'm saying. We're glad to be out here. You know what I'm saying.
Yes sir, yes sir, live and direct.
You know what I'm saying. So
Price is right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, like I said, rest in love to your family. And you know, that was definitely a dopeness that you had popping. So wanted to make sure we honored that and everything, but
oh man,
transition into it. So you got Price the Poet, right?
Price the Poet, you know it.
That's how you kind of get it. Do you feel like the poet, you don't plan on growing out of that? Do you feel like that's a staple for you, or do you potentially feel like, you know, who knows?
It won't leave, man. Just like I thought the drawing would leave, but the drawing's still there.
For sure.
I designed the cover for like I literally sketched out the cover for my first mixtape.
Whoa. Okay. All right.
And then
what about Sexy? It's self-explanatory.
Oh, self-explanatory. I sketched that out, and then I had an actual graphics artist trace over it with his magical utensils.
That was like, however you came to that. Yeah. You was in the bag for that.
Oh yeah, appreciate it.
That's what's up. I did want to ask you a couple of things, brother. I did want to. I mean, okay. So right now, how close do you feel that you are to your peak?
So I had a conversation the other day.
And you got four sides. Well, not four sides, like, but you potentially could be seen in 4 views. You know, the singer, the rapper, the producer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And obviously the group member. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, go ahead.
My big bro. You know what I'm saying? My siblings are the closest thing to, like, I guess, a parent figure at the moment.
Okay.
And it's because, of course, I'm the youngest by 5 years, so everybody 5 years plus older than me. So they looking back at Lil Ray as he growing up, like, okay, you know what I'm saying? They got the overall observation of me better than I do myself. So he was talking to me one day as I was showing him new music. He's in Connecticut. He's a chemist for Shea Moisture. We parted ways when I was in like my first year of high school because he had went off to college with the whoop. Okay. And he was one of my best friends. And anyway, he was talking to me, and I was like, "Hey, big bro, look, check this. This is what I'm doing now. I'm doing the music because I keep y'all more updated on what I'm doing than my siblings in a sense.
It be like that sometimes.
So
yeah.
I had showed him. I was like, "Hey, I just made this beat. Wooty wooty woo." This was like a couple weeks ago. One of my favorite beats, and he was like, he told me, he was like, "You're already the artist that you desire to be. You're there.
Yeah.
All the development is there. You're already the artist that you want to be. At this point, it's just a matter of time for the right recognition." You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. Yeah, and it's like, what type of pressure do you put on yourself, right? Because as a producer, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that does production, like, okay, it's not like as rappers you don't got that feeling either. Like as a rapper, you got it. But as a producer, you're thinking about everything that anybody hears from, like you said.
Yeah.
It might be a little inkling in the back. It might be a skip. It might be a, and you like, does that make sense? Nobody hears it but us. You know, nobody hears it. I was showing somebody a video, and I was like, yeah, but do you not see that picture's not lined up? And he was like, bruh, drop the video. And I'm like, yeah. So like with that said, you know, I think, you know, how much pressure do you put on yourself?
Man, a lot, man. But it's on. I put as much pressure as much talent as I possess, if that makes sense.
I feel that. And like you know what you're capable of.
Right. So I know, like, I know where I can go. I know where I can't go, and I know how far I can get if I go in any direction.
I feel that.
So pressure, man. It's stay there. I'm always like at this point, like since like October, I was like, hey, no more sessions, no more sitting in on the sessions and just hopping on the beat. We need some money coming in.
Thanks.
Or I can't holler at you right now because we got to get this album right. We got to get everything tight. Because 2019 was supposed to be the ARC's year. Well, it was the ARC's year of, you know what I'm saying.
But y'all planned it maybe a little bit more, like a couple more punches.
Right.
I feel that.
Yeah.
And I feel like, okay, and when you speak on that, as we talking about developing as an entrepreneur with the music game is a whole situation in itself. Actually, not just getting respect as an artist, but really getting people to respect your craft to where they pay you. And you know, that's I'm not gonna say it's the most difficult thing in the world. You just gotta kind of enforce it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same token, it is a journey. You know what I'm saying? Some people will hear your talent and they just still don't want to, recognize or honor it. And then some people don't know what it is that you're going through. They just hear the track and be like, "Oh, that was tight." Like, nah, bro. Like that was a few hours or a few weeks, a few months. As you said, projects could take 2 to 3 years in some instances. A lot of money that's being cashed down with features and different music. And so I feel you with that. And I would say I would ask you this. If you had from your skill sets right now.
To bank on it,
Well, I'm saying if you had to take one away, if you had, a dilemma where you actually had to give up one of the talents, either it would be production or your lyrical precision, or I'm not gonna touch your artistic side as far as visual, but and then of course the singing, like what would be the easiest for you to, not the easiest, they will all be up. What would you have to come to conclusion on?
So. And we talking in terms of,
you got to give it away forever, like you can't touch it. We
just talking like the auditorial side of things.
So let's say, okay, let's put it like this, like, so some type of way, you in a situation where basically on a vocal level you won't be able to articulate it no more, not for therapy and just chilling, or even on a track. So like, at this particular point, is this we can't call him evil, right? It's just this spirit that it's a spirit that comes and it's gonna take one of your talents and you lose it. You know what I mean?
That remind me of somebody asking me whether or not I would want to be which senses I would want to lose.
Oh man, that's tough.
And I replied, I think it was I would get rid of my sense of scent, probably.
Okay.
But I guess if it boiled down to like sight and vision, you know what I'm saying? It would probably be sight, because you know what I'm saying? You can paint pictures. You have imagination, so you'll always be able to see no matter what.
Facts.
So I guess in terms of the whole singing, the production, the rapping, and the poetry. Which one would I have to relinquish first? If it was do or die, it would more than likely be.
He thinking.
Okay. So we got look. So we got production, we got audio engineering, we got the singing, we got the rapping, and we got the poetry. So I'd easily give up the audio engineering.
Word. I with that.
Just because there's nowhere near amount as fun.
Yeah.
In doing it.
Boy, that's that, man. That you working. And then like when people be like, yeah, can you mix this, or hey, can you edit this, or hey, they'll say something like, hey, can you throw this together, bruh? You just know.
Oh man, what? That's a chore. It becomes a chore.
That's not how that works. So I get what you're saying as far as like establishing yourself as an entrepreneur in that right and making people respect that, because it's like, bro, not only are you asking for me to do something, but obviously I'm gonna put some heart and passion and make sure that it sounds and look good. If anything, that that it got it from me. You know what I mean? So for me, one thing I want to ask you: how important is it for you to be honored or at least recognized for your individual talent? You know what I'm saying? You guys with the ARC, y'all have been doing and a lot of amazing things. Well, is that a word? A lot of amazing? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna make it.
We're gonna do that.
We writers.
Cause there we go. The pen is in our hands.
Right.
So yeah. So how important is it for you to still continue to
receive that?
Yeah.
That little recognition.
Or at least have your moment to shine. Just to put up your individual projects and explore as an artist.
Man, to be honest with you, man, it's only as important as it is until we reach that moment where that brings, the whole monetary compensation that we look for. Once we get that, I can go behind the scenes. I'll be good.
That's a promise. You know what I'm saying?
Get off social media, delete all that.
It's just like, yeah, I feel that. And then obviously because you got the talent, you could always make 90 albums. Nobody has to truly hear them. Your people can hear them. You feel me? But at this particular point, you making your grind happen. All right. So like, what are your goals? Like, or do you, potentially maybe 5-10 years? Like, what are some of the things you're looking to accomplish? If it's particularly like, I know with the production, might be equipment that you maybe want to acquire, maybe a particular artist you want to network and work with, or maybe just a goal for you as far as performing in some way. Like, what's some of your goals?
I love you, bro.
What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up?
But I hate that question. I'm gonna tell you why I hate that question. I get asked that question a lot. You know what I'm saying? We all have been asked that question a lot in school. Sure. Where you gonna be at? Where you see yourself 5 years, 10 years down the road? And that's the type of unwanted pressure and stress that we don't want to concern ourselves with, to stray us away from the current moment that we need to capitalize on to ensure whatever vision that we longly desire to actually transpire. So I just be focusing on my next 5 minutes, what I'm finna do to capitalize and come up in the next 5 minutes. That way, for future self will already be straight. So current self ain't gotta do too much stressing. So
you maximizing every moment that you're in. Mm-hmm. So therefore, when the next moment comes, you in there. Mm-hmm. I can see that. You know what I'm saying? With that said, okay, let me see what else I got popping for you. Obviously, with you knowing where you are now, 2015, you start dropping music and everything. Obviously, did you foresee like the reception of your music to be the way it is now?
We always, as entrepreneurs, we expect more. We expect a lot more. We will always expect. As human beings, we expect more.
Yeah, we can expect a lot.
So I try to run away and stray away from expectations.
For sure. Okay.
And rather than expecting things, I just I manifest them.
I'm with that.
I work toward what I want to expect. So that way, if I'm getting the right ingredients, then the result will, will come out. If I got two tablespoons of sugar, I can, going by the book, I can make sure that these cookies gonna come out right. So
I'm with that. Okay. And so, like, if you was to give some words to some people that's trying to come in the game, when you was per se, well, some people had tutors, some people had mentors, and some people had to say, hey man, do this, that, there, or at least keep it going. Like, what are some of your jewels you would particularly drop to someone that you say, hey, listen to my first track, what I'm saying?
Man, I had to learn the hard way. I've always had to learn the hard way, and kind of preferred to learn the hard way.
You like that? Okay.
Experience first, hands-on experience the best teacher. So when New Phone, the producer of New Phone, Who This, was actually like a con artist, man. He ripped off my whole second mixtape and off of SoundCloud, and uploaded it to digital streaming services like Apple Music. I didn't own those beats. Those were mixtape beats, and he put them all up there under his label name. And I asked him about it, and he acted clueless. And you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, it got real. So I had to call Apple. I was like, hey, this is Price to Poet. This is not approved. This music that's on here is not approved. I don't even own the beat, so it's not even paid for. So can you take it down? And because what's funny is he came to me trying to approach me as a person trying to help me out. He was like, hey, I'm gonna help you out, man. I'm gonna give you some beats. Woo, how you come down here and do some shows. And so he threw me a couple of beats, and he was like, hey man, you monetize? You got your paperwork? And I ain't had my paperwork at the time, and I was like, no. He was like, oh man, what? You got your stuff up there just for free and people don't know? And I was like, yeah man. He was like, oh boy, you better get that tight before somebody come up there and rip your stuff down and claim it as theirs.
You better stop doing that before so I can do it.
Right.
Yeah, that's what they sound like.
And what's funny is I didn't know it was directly him. I had to do some research. The guy had like about three to four different aliases and business names.
Yeah, he was doing his thing.
Oh yeah, from a cat from Atlanta at that. So
yeah.
So a tip I would say is get your paperwork straight. Get the music business side.
Learn the business side of it. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then like what was that learning curve for you as we exit out of here?
Osiris, bro, that's big bro. He done put me on. He was the first person to tell me about it. He was like, hey bro, BMI, ASCAP, woo. And from that point I was like, dang, music business. So once I say pop it off with the music business side of things, that way you can determine whether or not you truly cut out and meant for this, or whether or not you need to immediately get a manager to handle all that stuff for you.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot, man. So we appreciate Price coming in this thing, you know what I'm saying? We always leave out what I ain't here no more because, you know, we getting up out the door, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So we appreciate you reaching out. Appreciate you swinging down. Supreme Vodka's going down tonight, man, so make sure you pull up. It's going to be a chill situation. Price going to be in the building. Chris the Cram Guy, you going to be in the building? Yes, sir. I can't hear you. Get on the mic, bro. Let him know.
Yes, sir. We're going to be in the building.
You know what I mean? So he gonna be shooting you up and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be having a good time, man. Photo shoots. You be able to potentially get a stew session. We're gonna have some pain going on, just some vibing, you know, man, nothing too crazy. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you fool with us at Legit Supreme Gym. We're gonna be dropping the videos for this next week, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get out here, we're gonna snap a little something, and then we're gonna see y'all tonight. We appreciate y'all checking us out. Any last word, Price?
The price is right, baby. Peace and love, self-care, self-love.
For sure. Oh yeah, where can they follow you? Where all the good? Oh yeah. All that
Price the
good
Poet. Just Google Price the Poet at Price the Poet. I'm Googleable, baby. Tell my grandma I'm Googleable.
Ooh, Adam just like that. It's so you know as well. We'll be right back in next week. Y'all be safe.